Let's take a look at making a beaded Cretan stitch. The first line of beads will go from this point to this point on the same line. The second row of beads will go from this point to this point, and when you pull that line of beads over the first, you will get a curve in your bead lines. So let's get started. I've already put on the needle and thread a line of beads. I'm going to measure from the beginning point to the ending point of that same line, not laying it on the line, but measuring from point to point and having 2 additional beads on past that measure. I will then put the needle and thread through the fabric to the wrong side of the fabric, and there's our first line. The next line of beads, we will come up where the next line first end is. There it is. Again, we're going to put on a line of beads, but I'm going to switch to turquoise so you can better distinguish between the 2 lines. And once again, I'm not counting exactly how many beads I put on, but I'm going to take a measure. So let's see. If I push them down to the fabric and I stretch it from one point of that line to the other, I'm barely making it, so I need 2 more beads to go 2 beads past that measure. And there's my 2 beads. I'll then put the needle and thread through the point at the very end of that same line. And you can somewhat see the pink now curving. It will get more dominant as each line of beads goes on. So you can see now when I put the 3rd bead of line, you can see what happens to the 2nd line. And let's do pink so we can see how the crossover is happening. I will put on a few pink beads and take a measure. I'm not counting, but rather measuring, because not all the beads are going to be the same size. I'm pulling to take my measure. Do you see how the turquoise line is now bending? But I need a few more beads to get to the end point of that same line plus 2 beads. And let's take a measure. You want to make sure that beads cross beads. Looks like I need about 3 more. There's an extra 2 now. Pass the needle and thread through the point of that same line but on the opposite edge, and you can see now how each line of beads is being curved by the line of beads that is put on after it. You can see 2 rows of the Cretan stitch done in red, and then on either end there's green embellishments as well as large beads sewn down the center. Here's another example of the Cretan. The navy blue beads are the Cretan stitch, as I just demonstrated. Then I have sewn on embellishments on this edge and just a dot of gold on the other edge of the Cretan.